Good afternoon. It's about those two idiot hands of mine, Venser and Franzi. They drove off with a cart full of goods towards Semin, and they never came back.
Do you want me to find them?
Just so. But more importantly, I want to know where my cart ended up, and especially the cargo. Go to Semin and find out what the bloody hell happened.
Have you any idea which way they might have gone? I could have a look along the way. Maybe their cart broke down or something.
There's only one road to Semin that can take a cart. It leads from Takov to Troskovitz, and then to the south. But I've got a bad feeling they got up to no good in Semin.
Those two hands of yours, Venser and Franzi, what can you tell me about them?
Can't tell you much. They're wandering laborers. I don't think they wanted to stay here with me for long. But these days, I can use all the help I can get.
Were they suspicious in any way?
No, they worked hard. They ain't no slackers. And I can't say that about everyone.
What was the cart carrying?
Bugger and bollocks. All sorts of stuff. I'd say Lord Semin wants to rearm his garrison with new equipment. There were some hunting swords, bastard swords, crossbow bolts. I also fixed the trigger on young Semin's crossbow. And some kitchen stuff. Sacks of charcoal, all sorts of things. There's a good month's work in that cartload.
All right. I'll get right on it then.
Go ahead. And if you find that pair of fools drunk, kick their asses for me.
Gladly. I'll kick some sobriety into them.
What do you want?
Don't cause any trouble, got it?
You're having problems with the Zhelyevites?
Not just me, my friend. They're the biggest bastards around. They've been nothing but trouble for years. The winter before last, they piled snow in front of everyone's doors at night, so no one could get out of their house. And last year, they broke into my cellar and pissed in my beer barrel.
Gracious. I hope you got your aim back on them.
Not yet, no. But since you're here, I've got a plan you could help me out with. I'd pay you well. You can count on that.
What exactly would you like me to do?
Don't worry. I won't make you do any shoveling or pissing anything. But I'll tell you exactly what I have in mind, only after you promise to help me. I'd hate to reveal my plan, only for you to go off and tell the Zhelyevites right away.
Well, if you've got it all figured out, why don't you do it yourself?
Right. And who's going to run the inn in the meantime, eh? Besides, everyone in Zhelyov knows us. If someone from here shows up there, they'll get suspicious.
All right. I'll help you.
Listen up then. Old Olbram, the owner of the biggest plot of land in Zhelyov, has this beautiful bull. White as snow he is, the finest animal far and wide. Obviously, he's very proud of it. Very protective too. Now I mean you, will give his beautiful snow-white bull a nice new coat of paint. Olbram is going to lose his mind. Simple, right?
Painting a bull, eh? That sounds like fun.
Right. We just have to work out a few details. First, we have to get some paint. I don't reckon we'll be able to get any here in the village, but you can try and ask Bartoszek, the tailor in Trotskovitz. I hear he dyes his own fabric. And after that, we'll have to make sure the bull stays still while you're painting it. Try asking Radovan, the local blacksmith. I hear he can make some kind of sleeping potion. If you pour it in the bull's water trough, I'm sure it'll do the trick. But watch out. That beast is enormous. You'd better put at least 3 doses of the potion in there.
All right, then. Olbram's bull will be getting a new coat of paint.
Olbram's going to lose his mind. I can't wait. And remember, it's supposed to be a joke. If you get caught or something goes wrong, the whole thing will be ruined.
Right. So I need paint, sleeping potions, and to not get caught. Why do you and the Zhelyov lot hate each other so much, anyway?
It's their fault. They keep playing tricks on us. Olbram's the worst of them all. The nasty old codger. He's always coming up with ways to mess with us. He's the one that stole our pasture.
What pasture did they steal from you?
The one that stretches from the orchard behind the Takov down to the gamekeeper's lodge. It's been ours since time immemorial, but the Zhelyevites took it from us.
Then how did they take it from you? You can't exactly stuff a pasture in your purse and walk away with it.
Save the jokes, will you? This is fucking serious. There's a tree down by the gamekeeper's lodge that marks the edge of our land. My father, God rest his soul, was there when they agreed on it. He got a proper ass kicking so he'd remember it, and remember it he did. But then fucking Olbram came along, claiming it was the other way around, and that pasture belonged to Zhelyov.
Well, can't you all just reach some kind of agreement?
Do you think we haven't tried? But there's no talking to the Zhelyevites. Year after year we meet in that pasture. I tell it like it was, but Olbram always starts spewing his lies. Then we end up arguing until the sun sets. And when the Zhelyevites are at wit's end, they come at us, and nothing ever gets solved. We managed to convince them to at least give us back half the pasture. But I know the whole bloody thing belongs to us. We can't just leave things like this.
Have you tried asking Lord von Burgov for help?
Of course, but he'd have none of it. He said it's up to the Trotskovitz bailiff to sort it out. But the bailiff couldn't care less. He said we should deal with Olbram ourselves, or he'll have us caned and clapped in the pillory.
Then how did they take it from you? You can't exactly stuff a pasture in your purse and walk away with it.
Save the jokes, will you? There's a tree down my father, but then fucking...
Well, can't you all...
Do you think we haven't... Year after year... And when the Zhelyevite... We managed to convince them to at least give us...
What's new around here?
Vostotek. Lord von Beregov's huntsman is a regular here. He might have some work for you. He's got a cottage near Vidlak Pond. So if you know your way around the woods, you could go and offer him your help. I hope he hasn't started drinking somewhere else. He's my best customer. You could also stop by and see Old Mouth. He's the local storyteller. He could tell you all sorts of interesting things. But only if you bring him some liquor. Don't forget, I have some here to sell, if you want. And that's all I'd say.
Sounds interesting. Thank you, innkeeper. I'm feeling a bit peckish. Greetings.
Good day to you. Careful!
Good day to you.
People call you the Mouth, right? They say you tell all sorts of stories.
I'm no mouth to you. My name is Denyek. Got that? What do people call you then? Bughead? Arse face?
I'm sorry, Stenyak. I'm Henry.
Pleased to meet you. But you were right about the stories. I could tell you stories so sad they'd make the devil cry. Or would you prefer something so scary it'll make the hairs on your ass turn white? But it's a lot of hard work for me. Now, if you had something to drink or a couple of groschen, that might help loosen my tongue.
You know what? I think I'd rather come back another day.
Farewell.
I'm so hungry I could eat a horse. A bit longer without food and I'll really start to be grumpy.
Greetings.
Good day.
What do you need, my friend?
What do you have for sale?
Thank you, and take care. I'm glad to see you like it. Do you want... Another.
Don't cause any trouble, got it?
God be with you, good man. I see you're a fellow traveler. Want to warm your bones a bit?
God be with you, Sir Knight. I'm Henry, and I serve the Lord of Lipa.
And which one might that be? You see, I know several of them. It's an old and respected house.
Well, my lord resides in Ratai, on Sasau.
Him I don't know, but I rode with the old Captain Chenyak of Lipa when Emperor Charles was still with us.
forgive me, sir, but that's before my time.
Well, of course. Half a century has passed since those glorious battles against the Hungarian troops. Ah, and all I'm left with today is debts.
You have debts? Why? Because of the war?
On the contrary, when my neighbor Deslav was on his deathbed, he begged me to deliver his inheritance to his nephew. But that troublemaker is all fighting in Poland somewhere.
A will is a sacred affair. But are you really going to go all the way to Poland?
Certainly not. I'll leave the money in the hands of a monastery and be done with it. Problem is, I incurred a bloody fine on the way and had to pay it out of the inheritance.
So you fought for Emperor Charles, the father of our King Wenceslas?
Indeed I did. My boy, he was a pious and clever king, and as cunning as the devil.
So you stand with Wenceslas too?
Always. The apple has fallen far from the tree. Young Wenceslas is just a foppish coxcomb. Well, safe to say, it's all going to the bloody dogs.
Well, I have to get on the road again.
Farewell, and Godspeed.
Don't be a coward.
won't find him here today. Ave Maria.
What happened? You look worried.
My husband Vostatek left to go hunting and hasn't come back. I'm worried that something happened to him. He's von Burgo's lead huntsman, and the forest is full of poachers these days.
Maybe he just got caught up somewhere.
Not a chance. We're invited to young Lord Semin's wedding. He wouldn't dare miss that by wandering around the woods for so long. What would Lord Semin think if we didn't show up? It would be a disgrace. He sometimes loses track of time out in the woods, but I've got a really bad feeling about it this time. One time, Vostatek didn't come home for 4 days after his horse broke its leg in the woods. I had a feeling right away that something bad had happened. And I have that same feeling now. Do you reckon you could help me?
Does that happen often? That he gets lost in the woods?
He disappears for a while from time to time when he gets orders from Lord von Burgo. And besides that, well...
What is it? You can tell me.
He drinks a bit sometimes. Then everything takes him longer. His job isn't easy, so I understand when he does, and I don't get upset with him.
I understand. But maybe you're right, and it really is something else this time.
Exactly.
Do you know where he might be? Where's his hunting ground?
In all the forests here around Vidlak Pond. He didn't tell me exactly where he was going, but maybe Vitek knows.
Vitek?
Our son.
So your husband got lost when he was out hunting, and you want me to go and find him?
I'd go myself, but Vostatek doesn't want me going to the woods on my own. He says it's dangerous. But you look like a fearless lad, and I'll be sure to reward you for your efforts.
Why did Vostatek forbid you from going to the forest? Is it really that dangerous?
There are wolves, boars, and worse out there.
What could you meet in the forest that's worse than an angry boar?
Well, people, of course. All sorts of cutthroats and thieves hide out in those woods. So watch your back.
I'll keep that in mind. All right. I'll bring Vostatek back to you.
Thank you. I wouldn't send you if I didn't think it was necessary, but I have a really bad feeling about this. Before you leave, please make sure to talk to Vitek. Maybe he'd know where his father was headed.
Why doesn't Vitek go looking for Vostatek then?
I told him, but the lad is young and stubborn. He just doesn't listen to me. And besides, him and Vostatek don't get along very well.
All right. I'll let you know as soon as I find something.
Be careful out there. See you soon, my friend. What are you barging in here for? What are you doing here? You aren't allowed here! Do you want me to go for the guards? Apologize and pay up right now. I'll really go and get those guards. Is that what you want?
All right, let's sort this out.
I won't have you causing trouble here, laddie. Cough up some coin, or we'll report you to the...
Hail. What do you want here, you scoundrel? Why'd you barge in here?
I'm looking for your father. Did he mention where he was headed?
Ma talked you into it, didn't she? I'd be willing to bet he just got wasted as usual. He's nothing but a drunkard. It's no secret.
Do you even realize what's at stake here? The woods are a dangerous place. Do you really want something to happen to him? Your mother would be a widow, and you'd be an orphan. Who'd take care of you then? As soon as Laura von Burgov found a new huntsman, he'd have him move into your cottage, and you'd have to leave. Or do you have a sack full of groschen stashed away somewhere, so you could go and buy a new house in Prague?
Kurva, all right, shut up already. I'm not stupid. Father may be a drunken bastard, and living with him is a chore. But Mother still loves him. I'll help you, but only for our sake.
Where did he go? Tell me.
The last thing he said was he found a dead deer near the pond, and he wanted to go and see if there were any wolves about. So I'd go down below the cottage, walk along the shore, and then turn north into the old forest. If he didn't get boozed up and forget, that is. Wouldn't be the first time.
Shouldn't you be looking for your father? You can come with me.
Ha! Forget about it. I'm sure it'll end with you dragging his drunken arse home anyway, and I'd rather avoid that.
What's your problem with him? He's your pa. You shouldn't talk about him like that.
All he does is drink and doesn't care about anyone else. Why would I talk about him in any other way? He's like a big, drooling infant. Ma and me are always at his beck and call. So I say we should let him deal with it himself.
Be that as it may, I'm going out to look for him.
No need to rush. At least it would give him time to sleep it off and come home on his own. All right.
Good day.
Just a bit more.
God bless.
There's someone up in that tree there.